All right, so get this. You requested a deep dive into generative AI, and I gotta say, your timing is perfect. This field is blowing up right now.
It really is.
But okay, I get it. AI can feel like you need like a whole secret code to even understand the basics.
Right.
But lucky for you, that's why we've got the expert right here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
You always find a way to make even the super complicated stuff seem clear.
I try.
So you ready to untangle this whole generative AI thing?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Perfect. So our sources are saying that generative AI is AI that doesn't just like think.
Yeah.
It creates stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking text images, music, even computer code.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
I mean, wow, it's like AI just became like this ultimate artist or something.
It is pretty mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not just like copying or remixing what's already out there.
Yeah.
Like this type of AI, it learns from this existing data, but then it uses it to make something totally new.
Okay. So like, let's just say, for example, AI listened to every single Beatles song ever recorded.
Okay.
I mean, deep cuts, live versions, everything.
Yeah.
Could it then go and write a new hit song that sounds like the Beatles?
Exactly. It could analyze all those songs, pick up on the patterns, the little things that make them sound like the Beatles,
Yeah.
and then use all that to generate something totally new, but still has that Beatles vibe.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, when you requested this deep dive, I was surprised to find out just how far back this generative AI goes.
Oh, yeah.
Like back to the 1950s.
Oh.
Which just goes to show, you know, some ideas are just way ahead of their time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The technology has to catch up, right?
Exactly. So those early computers, they weren't exactly the powerhouses we have today,
Not even close.
but they were making progress.
Yeah, they were doing what they could.
Take ELIZA, for example.
Yeah, ELIZA.
That name rings a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that cause a huge stir back in the day?
Did. It was 1964 when ELIZA came out, and it was one of the very first chatbots.
Really?
Yeah. And while it wasn't like actually intelligent the way we think of it now,
Right.
it was shockingly good at sounding like a person in a conversation.
Wow.
All by using this really clever system of rules and responses.
That's amazing. Especially for the 1960s.
I know, right?
It's like a sneak peek into what AI could do, like it could create, even if it didn't really get the meaning behind the words.
Yeah, it's all about the potential at that point.
So we've got these early sparks of generative AI happening, but then things really start to heat up in the 80s and 90s
Okay.
with those neural networks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like AI suddenly got this brain upgrade.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Neural networks changed everything. They were designed to work like the human brain,
Wow.
giving AI this whole new way to process information and learn from data.
Mm.
Instead of following pre-programmed rules, right, neural networks could analyze data and then pick out patterns and learn from them,
Okay.
just like our brains.
So it's like AI went from like reading from a script to improv.
Yeah, exactly.
And then boom, early 2000s,
Here we go.
deep learning shows up.
It's getting serious.
Our sources say this is when things really went into overdrive.
For sure.
So what was it about deep learning that like turbocharged generative AI?
Okay, so imagine giving an AI not just a textbook, but like every single cookbook ever written. That's kind of what deep learning did.
Okay.
These deep neural networks have all these layers, right, in deep learning.
Right.
And that lets them process tons of data and pull out these super complex patterns.
More data, more layers, more learning power.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what kind of cool creative stuff did this whole deep learning thing unleash?
Oh, man.
I'm seeing some really interesting terms here, like GANs and VAEs.
Yeah.
What are those all about?
Great question. So GANs, or generative adversarial networks, those are super cool.
Okay.
Imagine like a creative duel between two AIs.
Okay.
One AI is trying to create something new, like a painting or something, and the other one is acting like an art critic,
Oh, okay.
trying to figure out if it's fake.
So it's calling out the other one.
Yeah, exactly. And that back and forth, it forces the artist AI to get better and better
Wow.
until you get these crazy realistic results.
That's wild. Like a creative arms race, but inside a computer.
Totally.
No wonder GANs are behind some of the most realistic AI-generated images and videos out there.
It's true.
But what about those VAEs?
So VAEs are variational autoencoders. They're a bit different.
Okay.
Think of them like master code breakers.
Okay.
They take complex info and like break it down into a simpler form and then use that code to make something totally new.
So like distilling it down to the most important elements and then using those to create something new.
Exactly. And it's not just for images either.
No.
No, we're seeing AI write music, poetry, even computer code.
Get out.
Yeah, the pace of this is really incredible.
Okay, buckle up because the pace is about to get even faster. Oh, yeah.
Our sources are pointing to this crazy timeline of breakthroughs.
Okay.
Like 2015 diffusion models show up on the scene.
Right.
Then just a few years later, 2020 GPT-3 drops.
Yeah.
And suddenly AI is writing Shakespeare and debugging code like it's nothing.
Like it was born to do it.
And it doesn't stop there.
Nope.
By 2023, Bard and Watson-X jump in the ring.
Yeah, they wanted in on the action.
Just showing us how fast this stuff is taking off.
It's moving at the speed of light.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
I know, right?
But here's the thing. This isn't just some random tech timeline happening in a vacuum.
No.
This is affecting our lives right now.
It really is. Generative AI isn't some future thing anymore. It's part of our world today.
So, let's talk about art.
Okay.
Remember those AI-generated paintings we were talking about?
Those are being sold at fancy auction houses now.
I know, it's crazy.
And it's making people rethink what art even is.
Right. What does it even mean to be creative anymore?
Exactly. It's like the world of art just got a whole lot bigger.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I even heard about architects using AI to design buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And not just cool-looking buildings, but buildings that are good for the environment and energy efficient too.
Absolutely. And it goes way beyond the creative stuff, too.
Really?
Generative AI is being used to create personalized cancer treatments.
Wow.
They can target a patient's specific genes.
That's incredible.
And it's speeding up drug discovery, too, which could lead to cures for diseases we thought were impossible to treat.
So this isn't just about cool art and music anymore.
Nope.
This is life-changing stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the business world is catching on fast.
Yeah, I bet.
Generative AI is streamlining work, making customer service better, creating really targeted ad campaigns,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
even helping with tough decisions.
It's like having a whole team of superpowered assistants working around the clock.
Right.
I like it.
Generative AI is changing how we create, how we innovate, how we solve problems
In every field.
across the board. And the craziest part is we're just getting started.
It's kind of hard to imagine. Where do we even go from here? What's the future of generative AI?
Well, it's always tough to make predictions, especially with something like AI that changes so fast.
Right.
But one thing's for sure, this is just the beginning.
Come on, you can't leave us hanging like that. Our sources are saying this is still super early for generative AI. What are you most curious about? What gets you excited about what's next?
You know what really gets me thinking is how this tech could help regular people solve problems.
Okay.
Imagine a world where anyone, no matter who they are, could use AI to come up with solutions that were impossible before.
So instead of just using technology, we become the creators.
Exactly. Think about it. Students designing their own personalized learning plans with AI.
Okay.
Or someone starts a business and they have these AI tools doing all the hard work so they can just focus on the big picture.
Wow.
We could have a future where anyone can innovate.
That's a really cool thought. It's pretty inspiring. This deep dive has been quite the journey.
It really has.
We went from those old school computers in the 50s to AI painting pictures, revolutionizing medicine, writing music. It's unbelievable.
And to think the best is yet to come.
So to our amazing listener who suggested this deep dive, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We hope you're feeling as pumped about the potential of generative AI as we are.
Yeah, for sure.
And to everyone else out there, keep that curiosity going. The world of generative AI is massive, and it's changing every day. There's so much out there to discover. Until next time, happy exploring.